Hi everybody, it's me again. I was asked at the end of the last class to prepare a video describing how we come up with variable and fixed costs. There were three methods that were talked about in the book, and they go from page 127 to about page 32. I think it's all the way through there in the new book. And it talks about coming up with variable and fixed cost using account analysis. Like, I'm an accountant and I know what's in the figures, and I can look at these numbers and determine what's variable and what's fixed. So here's production in units of 2,000, and I go through the books and I look. Here's $265,000 of cost, $130,600 is the component cost, assembly labor $32,400, and so forth. I know, and I determine, because I deal with the numbers all the time, that $130,600 of component cost is variable. And I determine that $32,400 of assembly cost is indeed variable. All the rest of those costs are fixed. So of that total $265,000, $163,000 is variable, and $102,000 is fixed. So now what I do is I take that variable cost and I divide it by the 2,000, the production in units, so that I come up with the variable cost per unit of $81.50. But then the text goes on to say, we got into analyzing the accounts, and the utilities became suspect. Excuse me. We thought that might have be kind of mixed between variable and fixed cost. So the accountant goes out and talks with the operating personnel, and they review it. Indeed, they say, based on their analysis, that 50% of that $7,100 is variable, and the other 50%, $3,550, is fixed. So they put that in there. Then they come up and say, okay, now all the rest of it's fixed. So now the total variable cost is $166,550. and $98,450 is fixed. So now we do a calculation of dividing that variable cost of $166,550 by the 2,000, and so we get a little higher, $83.28 of variable cost. So now, let's see, I want to remove that. So now we take, okay, we've got a production level coming up of 1,500 units. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that variable cost of $83.28 and multiply it by 1,500 units. So we get, for this project of 1,500 units, we get a variable cost of $124,913 of cost. And we put the fixed cost down there of $98,450, and we have a total cost of that production unit of total cost of $223,363. Now that's one method of coming up with the fixed and variable costs. It's reasonably accurate, but it could be better. Then they say, okay, now we've got these, we go from January through December listing the production units in production and the associated cost. And you can see over here where I've got my mouse going over it. And they say we've got a high-low method, which is another way of coming up with the fixed and variable costs. So now we look at it and we say, okay, the highest is $400,000. We put that over here, and the lowest is $150,000, and we put that over here. Then we say the units, oh, I guess I should be going up here. So that the difference between the $400,000 and the $150,000 is $250,000 in costs. Now, the associated units of production is 3,000 for the high and 500 for the low. So that difference, the difference between those two, is 2,500. So now we divide the 2,500 into the 250,000, and we come up with a variable unit cost of $100. So now we got our unit cost, but now we got to find our variable cost. Well, we come down here. We got our high cost, and the low cost, I should put in there. And the variable cost, we want to know what it is for 3,000 units and 500 units times 100. And so the 3,000, they take this 3,000 and you multiply that by 100, and we get 300,000. We take the 500 units and multiply that by 100 and we get 50,000. So now we take the difference. This is the variable cost. We take that variable cost of 300,000 for the high, subtract it from the high of 400,000, so we come up with a fixed cost of $100,000. And it's the fixed comes up the same way. We take this 50,000, which is our variable cost, and we subtract that from the total cost, and we come up with a fixed cost of 100. So now we've got this 100, and we've got this fixed. So now we go down to the production level of 1,500 units, and we calculate our variable cost as $100 times the 1,500, and it comes up to be $150,000. Then we take our fixed cost, which is right here. I did that wrong. See if that'll, and they would pull that over there, and that's $100,000, and we add that to the 150. So our total cost based on this methodology is $250,000. It's a little higher than what it is there. Now, the way to really do it is to take this and these numbers, these production numbers and these costs, and we come up with a regression analysis. So let's put that in there. It's in the Excel spreadsheet. It's Linus. And what it says is, okay, we take the known y's, and we're going to plunk them in here. And then we take the known x's in the x column, and we plunk those numbers there, and we come up with a total a variable cost, if you can see it here, of $90.83. It's a bunch of decimals after that, but it's $90.83. Then if you look over, there's a comma, and you come over there and you can see that the fixed cost is $93,619,000. So using this method, we come up with $90.83 variable and $93,619 fixed using the regression analysis. And this is quite accurate. So now we take our $1,500 production level, and we got the variable cost. We'll take that $90.83 and multiply it by our 1,500, and we get $136,243. Then we take our fixed cost and put it down here and add them together, and we get $229,862. So you can see this is a little different, more different, but it's more accurate. This 229,862 is not too far different than 223,363 over here on our count analysis, but way off on the high-low method. So anyway, these are 3 methods of coming up with the variable and fixed cost. I hope you'll study them. I hope they're clear to you. And if you need some more help, when we meet again next Thursday, we'll study it some more. Thank you.